Sergeant First Class Christian Hickey is a former Marine who went on to join the Army as an elite Special Forces Green Beret. When war broke out in Ukraine, Hickey felt he had to do something, but fighting wasn't part of his calling.
I wasn't called here to fight. I wasn't called here to shed any blood. I was just called here to tell people about blood that was shed for them a long time ago.
That calling led to concern from his superiors over a US National Guardsman working in Ukraine. Nevertheless, God opened the doors for him to go.
I'm not here representing the United States military. I'm not here representing my command. I'm not here representing the National Guard. I'm representing as an ambassador of Jesus Christ, and that's exactly what I'm doing here as a missionary in Ukraine.
After he arrived, he found the Ukrainian troops in desperate need.
These guys don't have medics. They have like one medic per like a line of like over 100 or 150 people on the line.
Tactical combat casualty care happens to be one of Christian's specialties.
I stepped into their training facility, and they saw me, and they knew exactly, like, this guy is different. And they ran up to me and said, "Can you help us? Can you help us?" You know, 7 months ago, they were bakers, they were bus drivers, they were lawyers. Just giving them the skills to be able to stabilize their brothers, to help them get them to a higher level of care. That's mostly what I like to deal with, is, hey, here's how you save your brother's life, or here's how to stay alive if you find yourself injured.
And the time he's spent with these men on the front lines has given him a deep appreciation for the hardships they face. It's a different kind of war than he was used to.
They're absolute heroes. I don't think people understand what these Ukrainian soldiers are actually going through. It's the most terrifying and scariest thing I've ever dealt with on the front line. When you cannot see in front of you because they don't have the equipment to be able to do that. And then you have a Russian drone above you who just has freedom of movement to do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and to direct their fires right on top of you.
As the war grinds on, Hickey's mission is evolving to meet the need. Just days after the fall of Kherson, with the population running out of food, Hickey and his team brought a convoy of aid to the rescue.
We're switching gears a little bit. This winter is going to be absolutely tough for the Ukrainian people. There are going to be elderly folks who I love and I respect who are going to die because they're froze to death inside their home. That's what we're going to be here to take them out. I'm going to deliver them firewood. I'm going to deliver them food all throughout the winter.
We want to basically be the hands and feet of Jesus. There's a very, very strong, powerful NGOs bought all this food, and they don't have the action arm to actually deliver it. We'll take the food, and we'll make sure it gets to the right people at the right place at the right time.
Reaching the villages around Kherson is especially dangerous since the area is still littered with Russian minefields. So the people are all the more grateful when Hickey and his team risk it all to get to them. But there's one thing these villagers need more than food.
Lord, I pray that you protect these people. The needs that they need every day. From the food, the water, electricity.
We want to give the food hand with a Bible and pray. So we just don't want to give food. We actually want to give Jesus, and that food gives us the access and placement to have a conversation about Jesus.
And they're eager to show how the Russians brought death and destruction.
This building behind me is a school at a little village that we're in right outside of Kherson. The Russians only left here about 7 days ago, and the people in this village say that they didn't leave all at once, and they didn't tell anybody where they were going. Instead, they just sort of slunk away in the middle of the night. And now all that's left are these holes where the Russians parked their tanks right next to this school.
Since I've been here, I've done more long lines of Green Beret stuff than I've ever done in my military career, which is basically, I'm not carrying a gun, I'm not out here to shed any blood, but I'm out here working with the populace, working alongside them, providing them skills they need, providing them food, providing them water, and help build them up.
From Kherson, I'm Chuck Holton for CBN News.